Namaskar. Today it's April 10th, 2026. Every year on March 14th, I begin my 100-day journey towards the celebration of International Day of Yoga and thereby returning to the essence of yoga. Not as a ritual or performance or aesthetics, but as awareness. This is Satvik Yogi Path, a simple, non religious, global way of living with clarity. Welcome to day 28 of the Satvik Yogi Path. Yesterday, on day 27, we explored praṇava, pranav, the sound of clarity, the vibration that aligns the mind. Today, Maharshi Patanjali tells us what to do with that sound. Taj pastadartha bhavanam. Taj tajap pastadarth bhavanam. Once again, tajap pastadarth bhavanam, which means it's repetition and contemplation bring its meaning into life. Tajapas tadarth bhavanam. Maharshi Patanjali explains this sutra as a simple practical instruction. In a simple practical instruction, repeat the sound, contemplate its meaning, and let the vibration settle into the mind. Yeah, Maharshi Patanjali gives us simple instruction. But this is not chanting for belief. This is not ritual. This is not performance. This is jap, the repetition. And this is bhavna, contemplation. So, contemplation simply means staying with the meaning, not thinking hard, not analyzing, not imagining, just holding the essence of completely, just holding the essence softly in your awareness. Like placing a small lamp in a quiet room. You don't stare at the lamp, you just let it its light fill the space. Have you ever tried that? You place a small lamp in a quiet room. In a quiet room, you're not staring at the lamp. You are letting its light fill the space. In the same way, bhavna is letting the meaning of the sound quietly illuminate the mind. Further, let us understand repetition and contemplation. Analogy, the ripple of water, the ripple in the water. Now, since this morning, I'd been very, very excited about sharing this analogy because this analogy also takes me back to one of my most favorite activity when I was a child, when I was little. And now I want you to experience my favorite activity as a child. So imagine dropping a small pebble into water. Sm- Dropping a small pebble into still water. Still water. One ripple forms, then another, and another, each one softer than the last. If you haven't tried this, I would highly recommend you to experience Yoga Sutra 1.28. Once try this this analogy that I'm sharing with you. Ripple in the still water. So just drop a small pebble into still water and you will see one ripple forms, then another, and another, each one softer than the last. Jap works the same way. Jap, repetition, works the same way. Each repetition creates a ripple of steadiness in the mind. And bhavana, contemplation, is simply watching those ripples settle. Watching those ripples settle until the water becomes clear. Try it and let me know in the comment box. And today, also, before we continue, I want to share something honestly with you all. For many years, I have observed, I have watched yoga, om, and even namaste being used as rituals, ceremonies, or performance, or fancy aesthetics. Beautiful on the outside, but often disconnected from their true meaning. I've carried a quiet ache in my heart about that. Not because anyone intended harm, but because the deeper understanding was never shared. The Satvik Yogi Path is my way of offering clarity, not as correction, not as resistance, but as contribution. A simple, non religious, global way to return to the essence of yoga: awareness, steadiness, and inner clarity. If even one person begins to understand yoga with more presence or uses Om with more awareness, this journey is meaningful. Why this matters to your practice or my practice or to our practice? This Sutra 1.28 tells us that repetition builds steadiness, meaning deepens through contemplation. Sound becomes a tool for clarity, and the mind learns through gentle rhythm. You don't force clarity, you invite it. So, what are we going to practice today? Before I go in there, I want to give a shout out to all of you, those who have joined. Utpal Day 2329, lots of Sarah from Bangladesh. Thank you so much. Lots of love. That's wonderful. So thankful to you. Nova Novax Sitters 12. Hi, thank you for joining. So happy that you have joined. King hyphen Corona, you need a hat. Really? No, I have my natural hat. You like it? We all have our own hat, and it's natural. You don't need a hat, an external, any other object as hat. And Indranil has also joined. Thank you so much for joining. Wonderful. Thank you for joining. So now let's move on. So, what we practice today? Today we practice soft repetition of Om, Pranav, the sound of clarity. Om, we remember the Yoga Sutra 1.27 is that the sound of clarity, Om, we practiced. It is in three parts that from the belly, it rises in the belly, from the belly, then it moves in the chest, oh, and the vibration, it rests from the on the lips, the vibration. So we are going to practice Om and gentle contemplation of its meaning. We allow vibration to settle our mind and we return to our inner quiet corner, letting sound become a guide, not a goal, a guide. Griva Sanchalanam. Let's begin our gentle classical movement. Griva Sanchalanam. Let's prepare our throat for the sound. Take positions, back and spine straight, and roll your shoulder if you have to. Chest opens up, and your lungs get some extra space to work with. And your chin slightly tucked in. And let's begin. 2 rounds on each in each direction. And in the opposite, and the last. Gentle neck rolls, Griva Sanchalanam. Let's move on to Skanda Sanchalan. Skand, our shoulder, and the movement. So we release the shoulders. Naturally, just release, just relax before you go into Skanda Sanchalan. Again, keeping back and spine straight and your smile on. Let's roll our shoulders in both directions 4 times. And the last. Let's do it in the opposite direction. And that's it. So we move on to Marjari Bitilasan. Remember Bidalasan or cat and cow. So we create rhythm in the spine. Create rhythm in the spine. So let's do this. This is day 28. We have been doing these gentle classical movement every day. It is not about trying something new. It is about practicing and repeating. So it's about abhyas and jap. So we are repeating. Let us do this. Griva Sanchalan, Skanda Sanchalan, and Marjari Bitilasan. So to bring rhythm in our spine, so let us curve out our spine and release. Let's do it one more time. Once again, bring in all the oxygen from your surrounding and release. Let's move on to Vakra Sanchalan. Vakra is the twist, the gentle twist, and yet with awareness. So let's go on with our spinal twist, but we are twisting with awareness. So let's start. Two in each direction. And another. And the last. That was our Vakra Sanchalan. Today, the stillness practice is going to be very beautiful. I've been waiting for stillness practice. Well, by now, you already know that stillness practices are my favorite practices, but today we are going to practice Jap, the soft repetition of Om. Soft repetition of Om. Pranav, the sound of clarity. So let the sound rise from the belly. Yesterday we learned how to do it. Let the sound rise from the belly. Let it move through the chest. Oh, and let it soften at the lips. Mm. Jap, repetition of the sound, and we do it 3 times. Are you with me? Let's begin. Sit comfortably and let's do it. Normal breathing. Let's begin. Remember, rise from the belly, move through the chest, and rest softly on the lips. Pause. Again. Pause. And the last. Just stay like this. And open your eyes. Now we practice Bhāvanā. Bhāvanā or gentle contemplation. So, how do we practice Bhāvanā? Bhāvanā is gentle contemplation. Remember, you take a lamp in a quiet room, and then you just let the light fill the space, and you watch it, you experience it. That's contemplation. That's bhavna. No analysis, no judgment, nothing. Just watching it, experiencing it. So let's go with bhavna, the gentle, the soft contemplation, to stay with the meaning. Clarity, steadiness, alignment. Let's stay with the meaning. You may close your eyes. Clarity, steadiness, alignment. Or just watch the ripples, how the ripples get softer than the last. You're watching it, and then the water becomes still. Come back to your natural rhythm. And the last but not the least, Nabhi Dharana. So let us place one hand lightly over your Nabhi or your navel. And you will, this is your center, this is your anchor, and we just return to the navel. Just returning to the navel. That's the center of vibration. Place one hand and just breath. Just stay with your navel. And one last. So now we are already on day 28 and it's challenge time. So I have a challenge for you today. And today, repeat a simple sound. Repeat. Simple sound. As simple as repeat. Or even a soft hum. But your challenge is to repeat that simple sound. And 3 times during the day. Just 3 times. So you can pick Om, the sound of clarity, pranav, or you can just choose to hum, but repeat at least 3 times. Not loudly, not dramatically, just gently. And you would just watch it, feel it, like the ripples, one after the other. You're just watching it, getting softer than the last. And then ultimately, mind is steadying. So that's the challenge. Now, you would notice, you would do this, and you would notice how repetition creates stillness. Try it. That's your challenge for today. So, day 28, which is today, reminds us that repetition and contemplation bring clarity in life. Thank you for practicing with me today. Until tomorrow, stay open, stay warm, and stay honest to your story.